Hey everybody, Tony Gunter here with Gunter Property Group, and today I'm putting on my contractor's hat, and we're going to talk a little bit about residential roofing, something that every property has. Generally speaking, in the United States, it's going to be asphalt shingles. Not always. It can be metal roof and the metal sheets, metal rolls, and the new thing out right now is metal shingles. So I got a website here I'm going to use to help explain things a little bit. This is Owens Corning's website. You can see the Pink Panther up here. So the reason I'm using it is not just because they make a good product, they do, but they've got a nice website, nice explainer here I can use to borrow off of to make this thing. Okay, if you're looking at the structure of the roof, you look at the pointer, my cursor right here. I'm pointing at the bare sheathing up under there. Generally speaking, that's going to be OSB. It could be a variation of OSB like zip panels, but generally speaking, it's going to be OSB more so than plywood. OSB is a good material. It's strong. Just don't get it wet. It does not respond well to water. But that's the whole purpose of the roofing system, such that that never gets wet. The roofing system is what's called a cladding system. It's not intended to be a waterproof barrier at any point at any way. It's designed such that water falls on the roof and it rolls off the roof and is moved away from the roof and away from the house through a gutter system and whatnot. It's never intended to be inundated or with water sitting on it. That's a different type of roof, and they do use those on commercial properties, but not on residential roofing. It's just asphalt shingles and not. After the sheathing, the next layer you have is the ice and water barrier. Okay. Also called ice and water shield. This material, it's not exactly it's not required in Georgia because we don't have the climate for it. But I mean, if you're above Atlanta, it might not be a bad investment, particularly if it's a home you intend to stay in for a while. If you're putting a new roof on it. If you look here at the drawing again, you'll see this black strip right here. This is along the drip edge, the eave. All right, that's the ice and water shield, and you see it's also laid in the valley here of the roof between this roof plane and this roof plane. Valleys are terrible spots and one of the more prone spots to leaks, especially place like this gets jammed up with leaves and pine straw and stuff like that and starts holding water. That's one reason why you got that there. And that's one reason why I say it's not a bad idea, even though it's not required due to our climatic situation or climatic zone we live in. The ice and water shield on the edge of the eave is designed mainly to stop ice dams or stop water penetration due to ice dams. It gives it another level of protection. And what happens is, if you can look at this house, I'll use it over here on this edge, on the rake edge. You can see here you've got part of the roof edge that it's sticking outside. Okay, it's all exposed to the elements, or at least to the cold. May not have rain on it, but it's exposed to the cold. And what happens is you got a transition zone between the interior and the exterior. And what happens a lot of times is, as the snow accumulates on the roof and then starts melting, the water wants to run down on the bottom side of the ice and snow. It melts from the bottom up because it's getting heated. It's getting heated from the occupied space below it. Even if it is insulated, this area is going to be more prone to be and have some escape heating, just because heat rises. And this is where it's going to go. It's going to go up above, up to the roof. And what happens is that water starts falling down on the roof, and it's trying to get out from under it, but then it gets down here to this bottom edge that is sticking outside in the cold. So the water gets down here and it refreezes at the bottom edge, and preventing the water from continuing to leave. That's what they call an ice dam. The reason they call it an ice dam is because it's a dam made out of ice from the water refreezing right there at the transition line between the the exterior of the exterior wall and the interior of the exterior wall. So that's the purpose of ice shield more than anything, is for places that get might get ice an ice dam on it, or something that's wanting to accumulate and maintain humidity, moisture there. It's a good idea, in my opinion. It's a good idea if you're going to live in your house for a while, to put ice shield on the absolutely on the valleys without a question. But go ahead and do it on the eave edge, and actually even on way I like to do it. I even like to do on the rake edges. If you can see my cursor right here, I'm putting. See where I'm running it? That's the rake edge, and I even like to do it on that. It doesn't have to be a full, like 4 feet. It could be 2 feet or 18 inches, or 2 by 4 foot roll and split it in half. But the thing is that that ice and water shield right there really helps protect the sheathing from blown water. If you have thunderstorms or certainly hurricanes, kind of wind events that has a lot of rain with it too. And I mean, everybody can have a severe thunderstorm here in Georgia, and certainly in the Atlanta area. I mean, we have our share of them. So that ice and water shield, even along the rake edges of the roof, really goes a long way to protecting the edge of that material that is delicate, the OSB sheathing. It's a good protectant for that OSB sheathing that is sensitive with regards to water. It's just another insurance measure, and there again, if you're going to keep your house for a while, I think it's a great idea, personally, to do that. After the ice and water barrier, you've got the synthetic underlayment. It's basically a Tyvek kind of material. It's intended to not let water in, but allow it to breathe. And what this is doing is it's acting as the layer that goes over top of the sheathing and over top of the ice and water, actually, and it kind of acts like a membrane between the structural roof and the shingles that's going to go on top of this. Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. It's a barrier, and it allows the roof to breathe, because a shingle roof has to breathe. I'm not going to get into spray foam enclosure or anything like that, but a general rule of thumb, a shingle roof has got to breathe, and the underlayment, the synthetic underlayment, is part of that system, because the roof is a system. It's not just shingles. It's the whole thing, from flashing and the ice and water and synthetic and everything, all the materials that go into it. Only together does it actually make a system that's going to allow water to shed properly. Another thing, before I get too far along, I want to mention, if you look at my cursor down here along this bottom edge, you see I just lit that up and go over here and light that up. Along the bottom edge, there's this metal flashing, and it's called drip edge, or drip edge flashing. And what that does, it's a piece of metal that sits on the top of the roof, along the edge, along the eave edge, okay, and then the ice and water and everything goes over it. But what that does is, that's like the final edge that makes the water run down and cleanly kick out, free from the roof structure, and that protects the edge, the bottom edge there, and on the fascia board, and then you got your gutters up under that. One reason why I mention that, just say this: if you're re-roofing a house, do not reuse drip edge. Another thing, take all the old shingles off, strip it down. Don't do an overlay. That's a horrible practice, and gives you absolutely no warranty on your shingles either. You got the drip edge there, and sometimes what will happen, and this is something to keep in mind if you're talking to a roofer. Your house may have had the gutters installed such that the hangers, the screw goes through the drip edge, and that's a problem, because when you're changing the roof, you must change that drip edge to get a good job, because what will happen is that the bottom edge of those panels, they'll leak, and it'll rot out. It'll be a job later. You may come across that situation on your house when you're doing it, and if that's the case, it means you have to take your gutters off. You can't change the drip edge if the screw securing the gutters to the house is running right straight through the drip edge. So keep that in mind when you're talking to the roofer, and see what he says about it. Another thing, if you are ever having to replace your gutters, make sure they don't put the screws through the drip edge. It's just a bad practice. It's a bad practice, and it's going to cost you money later. So I just wanted to throw that out there before I forget about it, since I'm doing this all off the cuff and without any script or anything. Okay, so back to the underlayment. After the underlayment, you have what's called starter shingles. These are specifically for the eave and rake edges, as you see it says right there. So that means that the starter shingles are going to go here on the bottom edge, and you're going to use starter shingles along the rake edges. All right, like that. And the reason being is, they're specifically made for that position in the roof. That's what they're there for. They're specifically made for that. The other thing is the laminate shingles, and all the big name companies, they make a good product, in my opinion, for what they are. They're asphalt shingles, like Owens Corning's here. They use a fiberglass mat, and use asphalt on it. That's why they call it asphalt shingles. And then they put the granules on it. They onto the hot sticky tar. The granules are adhered, and to give it the color and the look and whatnot. As you can tell, or maybe you can't tell, if you look at this model they're using for this demonstration here, this is what you call architectural shingles, and you see it gives it more texture to the roof. It gives it more relief as far as the roof surface goes, as compared to the more traditional older type 3-tab, which they all look like the squared up blocks, kind of visual. Typical for lower end houses, typical for new construction, depending on the cost, price point, whatnot. I would say go with a good quality shingle. Probably go with a name brand shingle. They're going to have a warranty on them, a manufacturer's warranty. I can tell you that in my own opinion, the manufacturer's warranty is not worth a whole lot, because they've just got so many ways to wiggle out of it and blame the contractor and other things. So it's good that I take that kind of as a barometer, as they have confidence in their material. But like I said, I'm not convinced about the manufacturer's warranty being that great when it comes down to it. Some of the specialty shingles we also have are the hip and ridge vent shingles. These are specifically designed to go over the hip right there. or on the apex up here, and it works in conjunction with this is this is an air vent. This is a roof vent. This is an intake vent for where they're particularly for those that don't have under eave venting, where the roof can draw in air, because there again, the roof, just like the structural roof, just like the cladding, the shingle cladding, is built as a system. And typically, what it is, you've got vents along the bottom of the eave that allow air to be pulled into the roof cavity, and then up here you've got ridge vents, which allow air to leave through that vent. And since hot air rises, that's what gives you the air movement to keep your attic from getting moldy, and to keep it from getting overly hot, because you can an overheated attic can not only kill your air conditioning bill, it can also kill your roof. It can basically just torch the back of the shingles. It'll burn them up. And sometimes you can get it. You've seen them so hot, they'll actually like start weeping. But yeah, you got to have ventilation on the back of that, and that's part of what that does. This is another type of vent, whereas the other vent I showed you it's a specialty vent for here on the weave. This is a specialty vent for putting at the eave in the case that you don't have typical eave vents up under the eave pulling air. Then this is the ridge vent that would go up here. See my cursor? That's the plastic part, and it makes everything stand off, and allows it that little bit of space, to let the air flow. Then you have these type of shingles, which like I said, go over the hip right here. But they also use them going over the ridge vent, and you can see how it's laid out on a linear basis. You can see how that folds over and conforms to the shape of the ridge exhaust vent. That's the components I want to mention. I should mention too, as far as ice and water goes, your roof is going to have penetrations. It's going to have penetrations for the plumbing. It's going to have more than anything for the plumbing. It may have some other penetrations as well. Something you want to make sure is that you also want to use that ice and water barrier around any penetrations. There again, it's all about covering up the edges of that OSB. So that's a good practice. Although, like I said, this is not showing this is not showing any penetrations on it in this diagram here. But that's generally it as far as asphalt shingles goes. How the system works. You want to make sure if you're using anybody to do your roofing, you want to make sure you get the bids. Make sure they're laying out the materials, name brand by name, and let you compare them apples to apples, because there's a lot of ways to play games, and mainly it's on using less than premium materials. You can buy shingles, and stuff like that are really low quality, and if you're not any better, don't know better, you can get burned. Other thing, as far as licensing in the state of Georgia for roofers, is not a thing. There's no trade license required to be a roofer. If you can fog a mirror in the state of Georgia, you are qualified to be a roofer. So realize, when someone tells you, "Oh, we're licensed and insured," it's a business license. Okay, that's a business license. At least in the state of Georgia, it's a business license. I mean, unless you're a licensed general contractor or something. And insurance is insurance, which is kind of amazing, because a roof is something that nobody seems to tell the homeowners that a roof is something that it's a maintenance item, You don't think, well, I've got to replace the siding because it's time. Well, no, if you keep it painted up and everything under good shape, it hangs in there for forever as long as you keep it maintained. Whereas an asphalt shingle roof wears out. It's one of the what'll happen eventually is, if nothing else, the granules will wash off of them. And you can usually go to your gutters and look down in there, and all that crud kind of separate out, and you'll find the granules. You'll find the granules coming off your shingles. So sooner or later, you can't avoid that. The other thing too is the edges will they'll get old and they'll get brittle and dry out, and they'll start curling and everything. So, a roof is it's a maintenance item, and it's kind of crazy that the biggest maintenance item on your house is worked on by a non-licensed trade uh, company. But hey, that's the way it is. That's the laws in the state of Georgia, and actually in most places, roofing is not a licensed trade. I mean, it's not overly complicated, but still, it's you want to make sure you get good accredited folks for most residential stuff. Someone that's associated with a company, as far as like in the rewards program, mainly means that they've gone through all their training, and they use a lot of their product, and that's really what it's kind of a trade-off system between contractors and the shingle manufacturers. It's like, we'll give you swag and discounts on prices and stuff if you run a lot of your business through for our product, our shingles and other stuff. So that's how it works, more or less. I just wanted to share that with you. This has gone on pretty long, and I haven't even had to use a script on this one. This was an easy one for me to run through. And that's it. If you're in Forsyth, Cherokee, North Fulton counties, and you got a home to sell, give me a call. Tony Gunter Property Group, and I'll be happy to go over it and see what we need to do to get the very best deal possible for you, get it on the market, and take care of it. And I do work with buyers on a limited basis. Yeah, give me a call, and go to my website, gunterpropertygroup.com, and you can give me a call, send me an information form, whatnot, and see if we can't get together and see what you got going on, see how I can help you out. Okay. All right, everybody. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day, and be safe.